just to get, the chill out of the air. But,
El Boo about the I'm not burning, we only burn it.
Are you able to?
I got 2 fires a day.
yeah, no, I've been going through kindling. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to miss.
I'd much rather just keep the fire going than have to.
I know.
But they said they're doing makeup for it later, so I'll hopefully it'll be by the time I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be
Out there all the time. Foundation.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's more important that you feel better.
Yeah, they'll skin them property where it won. Side by side, trade.
Yeah, sorry.
Good.
It's okay. It's.
Well, I worked too hard to get
You know what
to
happened? All of it.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
I've been going out to the,
But
what's the cut they did out there? It's up by Trinity Center.
yeah.
Maybe I'll try. I might need to try
I know
going for
the
some light.
collaborative.
Yeah, just if you only got your stuff out there.
They have all those long decks out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean,
They did a
maybe,
good job, yeah.
I mean, 'cause I can
No,
imagine
it's
just the.
And I think the collaborative was happy with what they saw out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
think
they're
just
stacked.
less impact.
Long decks.
Yeah.
Morning, Carol.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I really want to light.
Morning.
But
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed.
No,
I
seriously,
didn't realize that till you
I-
told me.
Okay. Sorry,
Changed my whole day.
that's your day, I thought.
Okay. Guess mine's not.
Maybe I'll bring my tracking. To give myself a little extras.
Pat wanted to remind you that the conference is April. Yes.
Yeah, we did.
The Appalachian Trail.
Susan already got us signed up.
No, it was
Good.
the-
It's always a
it
really
was
good.
most
The
weird.
information's amazing.
All this- Never really followed while hiking.
She's a wheel rider, huh?
And this one.
Right, Carol, get you
Shoes. Yeah, probably, it was probably the end of the life
Pat
on
is
the trail.
supposed to
I was so
join on
bad
Zoom.
about
Our
it.
dog running in right before we hold it in and so he's.
Jason,
My,
Jason
the,
Alex
like the
down.
tread.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
trail,
yeah,
it
it makes a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
funny, there's
draw
this app called Far
Quite a while
Out.
back,
Where
when the old new dog,
it's like
man,
a
she'd take
hiker
off.
social media. for the
I'd be a day
Appalachian
before she
Trail.
came back.
And all the
We got
cars
40
taking
acres,
trails,
and
like,
so they
are these
usually,
walks, or have
you
just
know,
not-
just go out for a half hour or an hour, but we had a bear
Yeah, that's
come up the
awesome.
last couple of days. So, we're running, there's.
I think they do that.
Oh, yeah.
Good smell, new fresh
New
smell.
smell, yeah.
I mean, but not
Very.
pretty bad.
I'm like,
Really?
well, it's early, but it's been so long.
And on,
So
on this.
thinking about it.
I
issue up
ended
here
up
trying
getting
to
shoes.
consolidate the.
Like I got, yeah, no, still think about doing the headwaters. Yeah,
Oh.
I gotta look at
To
the
see if he
timeline
would.
now. but I think that's
I haven't, because
train up and
what I understand is they have to wait till the concessionaire contract renews and then put that in there.
yeah.
I'm just cautionary thing is that
Yeah,
if
that's-
he may.
Good morning.
Totally.
You're here in person. Wow, very nice.
Not just a, not just a face on the Zoom.
Every now and
There you go.
Really? It's nice to see you. You're doing good. How are you? Yeah.
Yeah, just on the QT. Because
Right.
I want you to get it merged, so then you can tell, you make enough money.
Handle,
Right,
there's the head.
I'm assuming he would, but I just won't like this.
Like, as far as those things.
Make sure he was on the same page. We
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to.
Gosh, I have
we
no
were out
idea
seeing
either.
everybody at the rec club. Love the.
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah.
Always fun to talk about recreation.
Yeah. Speaking
Status.
of this meeting, would you all like me to
There
close
you
the door? How y'all feel about the temperature in here?
I don't know if that's open and, but yeah, whatever, I think it's just cold outside.
Well, we actually got the heat work.
Oh, you
So
did?
it's a door. I just like the cold air.
Oh.
I was like,
But
I have my jacket in the car, but.
I'll close it.
I've always read cold.
I got
Noise outside too.
cold level.
It'll minimize
tolerance
the
of,
noise
like,
if
Okay, we're okay right now.
If you haven't been out there, I'll find you.
It's just that I have ice water, and then that's what
Dock is
puts
in.
me over.
Go about it, it is not.
Clark Springs.
Oh yeah, thank you,
It's
Clay.
so close. The
Hey, one
gate's
thing
so
on the
close.
agenda, I saw
I've
that
seen
you're
tons of
doing,
boats
or I'm doing
coming out.
the OHV survey update.
Oh,
I
like
think it was
us.
a mistake.
We either gotta go.
Oh,
Maybe,
to have-
that must have been a mistake. I didn't,
Gotta go to Trinity Center.
but I would,
Springs is half the
I
distance.
can provide an
Yeah.
update on
Yeah.
the
It just-
OHV.
oh, yeah, that's so funny. No, that must have just been, a typo from Kelly. Kelly did the.
Yeah, I should have, yeah, I should have said something, but.
Lake's 90%.
I'll give the update. I don't have
Survey.
the presentation.
Call.
ready.
Clark Springs.
I wasn't able to do it.
Okay.
But that
Oh,
was.
yeah. Don't they-
No one will
Got a lot on our
hold
plate.
you against it, it's okay. Yeah,
I'm not- That's where R right now.
yeah.
So, yeah. And
Yeah,
Lake's
But
not
I'll
here.
give a brief update just with some of the findings.
Okay, it is 10 o'clock. So we probably ought to fire this
you.
meeting up.
Oh, thank you.
So it looks like we've got a couple of guests joining here.
Did the dogs come back yet?
No.
Bums.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome those on Zoom. So just a couple of housekeeping things. As you probably have noticed, Kelly is not with us this morning. He is actually undergoing back surgery. Yeah. So we're hoping that goes well for him.
Thank you.
In his place, we have Clay. So Clay, thank you very much for Zooming us this morning. What else here? And are we recording, Clay?
Yes.
Okay.
We are recording.
We are recording, so, okay. We will start our introductions this morning around the table, so I'll kick that off. My name is Jim Steed. I'm the co-facilitator for the collaborative and the rec committee meeting here.
Pete Penny, Weaverville, the general public.
I'm Julie Potts with the Sierra Nevada Conservancy.
And then Monique, Forest Service.
Carol Paul, North Lake area.
Clay Grutch, Trinity County RCD.
Okay, let's go to our Zoom guests this morning. So Pat, you want to start us off?
Pat Frost, Trinity Center.
All right, Josh.
Schmidt, Watershed Center.
All right, good morning. And Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Piper, Mike's assistant, excuse me, at the Forest Service.
Okay. Welcome all. Good to see you on this Friday the 13th. Okay, let's get started with our agenda here. Agenda check. I hear we have maybe a issue with the agenda, so
I was just going to say that OHB survey will not be shared by me.
okay.
That will instead be shared by Clay.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I got that.
perfect.
Clay will cover. Very good. Okay. Anything else on the agenda that we need to modify in any way?
One thing, I have to take off by 11. So if there's anything that regards to me, then if we can do it before 11, that'd be better.
Sure. Yeah, I think Josh, you were probably up front there, that Upper Trinity River Watershed PNC proposal update. So I suspect you and Thule will have hopefully update for us on that one. Cool. I think that's the only thing we probably got you slated for, other than a partner update. So maybe we can squeeze you in on a partner update before 11 o'clock. All right. Anything else on the agenda? Not seeing any. What about the collective memory minutes of our January 9th meeting? Any issues there? Okay, so you want to shaking heads? We're all good with the minutes. So we do have a couple of follow-up items. So as previously mentioned, there was a fair amount of discussion about the TNC proposal for the Upper Trinity. So I'm not sure, Julie or Josh, who wants to go on that one, but I believe March was some kind of a significant
Yes.
timeline, right?
Josh, do you want to go ahead?
Well, we got the application in and we feel
Good.
really good about it. Julie worked with us. They're pretty amazing grantor. They allow us to kind of like go back and forth and change things and make it better, which is a really cool way to go about the grant process. So yeah, we got it in and are really hopeful. And I don't know, Julie, if there's anything at all we can say beyond that.
Yeah, I think the update is we've got just over $4 million to award. We did scrounge up a little more money, so I think it's 4.5 million right now. We're doing evaluations currently. We hope to know by the end of the month and get back to grant applicants with a yes or no. And then our intent is to be able to take the proposals that we're recommending for funding to our board meeting in June. So that'll be June 4th. And that's actually going to be here in Trinity County. So yeah, more to come on that. Stay posted and we'll know more soon. So
Very good. Yeah. Thank you. Anything else on that one?
Yeah, so we had asked for a copy of the application. Kelly was gonna send that out, and if you did send it out, I missed it. Did that get sent out?
Remember getting asked, but I could double check through my emails here and see if I can find it.
Okay, yeah, I would appreciate getting a copy since it pretty much affects our area. That's the first question. And the other question is, we had asked if you needed letters of support. So is there any where in the process where you need letters of support?
Yeah, we got a lot of really great letters of support from a lot of folks. And so I did, Pat got us one, and but the Trinity County Collaborative group, I had a miscommunication on. I thought we were working on that and we weren't. I kind of asked the wrong set of questions. So, but I think, Julie's been to enough meetings to know that the collaborative group is supportive of this, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, the collaborative letters of support have to go through the Board of Supervisors, so there's a timing issue there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm just really curious to see kind of what's gonna potentially be funded or whatever in our area. So thank you if you can send that out. Maybe send it to Jim and he can send it out.
Yeah, because, yeah, I think Kelly's going to be out for a week or so. So
Maybe to Clay.
yeah, there you go.
okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
And Carol, just so you know, it's high level planning, kind of to try to look at like resources in the upper watershed, SNC's region, and Trinity County really just limited to that upper watershed, kind of basically above Lewiston and everything that flows into Trinity Reservoir. So looking at primarily Forest Service lands, kind of inventorying the known resources, known resource needs, both in the Trinity Alps, at the lake, and then also with some of the lands that were recently acquired by the Forest Service. They had been private industrial forest lands and have been donated to the Forest Service, as I understand, mostly up along like the Pacific Crest Trail and then some along the wilderness. So really looking at like high level planning for that, looking at an economic analysis, trying to bring great recommendations around bringing infrastructure up to ADA compliance, and also kind of accommodating some of those rec resources for larger recreation use, just thinking about like larger RVs and whatnot and different different components. So, and also kind of trying to help the Forest Service inventory, like, okay, the institutional knowledge that we do have with the great staff here on the district, can we institutionalize some of that knowledge and be able to move those recommendations forward and seek further funding for implementation.
Yeah, I think it's great. I really appreciate it. I really hope you get the grant. It's just that,
Yeah.
you know, we had made some suggestions and, it's, you know, issues that we've been trying to address. And so I'm just curious whether or not that stuff, you know, made it in. And do you know how much money you've asked for?
It's under 500.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we promised a lot.
Well, and that's where, you know, we want to help, because like I keep saying, the community services district has recreation authority. So if there are places where we can step in and move the process along or help with implementation, provide data, you know, I'm just, you know, kind of in the dark here.
I will certainly be coming to you. There hasn't been a whole lot of major substantive things. It's mostly the same as the pre-application that I kind of shared with you guys before. And then we've just had mostly just budget changes, trying to get things to fit in right for SNC, you know, a bunch of small, not changes to the overall scope of the work we're proposing, just finessing it to make it fit.
Cool. Well, good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, please give us money.
I'll make my recommendations. I advocate hard for this region, so we'll see what we can do.
Josh, a general question for Josh and maybe yourself. Who will be responsible for that road maintenance on the 17 road? The IP road, Park Street Road, whatever we want to call it.
I mean, that's still, I think it's shared use road. I don't know exactly, you know, I know that there are plans for us to work together with the Forest Service right now. We're trying to figure out, you know, what we can and can't do. Again, Nick Goulet, you know, who I think presented to this group last time, would have a better idea of the details there, but it's a shared use road. The Forest Service definitely has taken a lot of ownership over it over the years, and we're trying to figure out how to work with them. I don't know if that answers your question.
Would some of this grant money be available to make those improvements up there? Because
Yeah.
it needs some serious maintenance.
Yeah, so these grant dollars are just for planning. We can't do any like implementation or on the ground work at this time. What it can do is kind of make those recommendations into the planning document to say, yes, maintenance of this road is necessary, and looking at existing partnerships and whatnot and trying to make recommendations in that regard. So yeah, unfortunately not maintenance at this time.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
All right, anything else on the TNC proposal? Very good. Well, we've had a guest join
Sure,
in.
it's the SNC, the Sierra Nevada Conservancy, not the Nature Conservancy.
I'm sorry.
Acronyms are too close.
PNC. Oh, there we go. Thanks for that clarification, John. We do have a new guest with us. Jill, you want to?
Hey, sorry I'm late. Jill Cox, Board of Supervisors. Good to see you.
Thank you. Okay, up next, RAC update. Do we have anything?
Yeah. So currently we did receive funding for the Title III, and Title II for that matter. Those, I know that the fiscal year 24 allocations have been released, and then the fiscal year 25 allocations are still in progress, to my understanding. They're determining a release date for that. And then fiscal year 26 will be on schedule and release in 2027. Probably around April is when they usually notify us of that funding. So then the fiscal year 25, we're not sure when it will, but I think usually they're on that April timeline. Then for the charter renewal, we still don't have a charter. That's going through an approval process at the moment. We don't have an anticipation date, but we were anticipating it mid-January. So we have not received that. However, in the background, we are preparing for when we do get the charter renewed, so we could immediately hit the ground running with some outreach for new committee members. We have a full 15-person committee that we will be looking to fill, and they will not let people that have served more than 2 terms consecutively serve again. They let us know that they're going to be really critical of that this year, which usually we've been a little bit flexible on that. So that's potentially going to impact some of the ability to fill those positions, but we're trying new outreach strategies so we could hopefully still meet quorum and have no issues voting on projects.
Is there any consideration of either reducing the committee size or combining racks? Just I know that a lot of racks don't have a full committee or even close to a quorum.
Yeah, when we are able to start reaching out to members, and if we do have struggles that we are facing, that's usually when we get the opportunity for some leniency. But until we get to that stage and until they hear our concerns when it happens, we won't be able to have any new flexibilities. But the other thing is that the county Title III allocations, because for the fiscal year 24 and 25, we'll be using the allocations that were previously set. So we're anticipating that Title III allocations will be able to be adjusted sometime around summer of this year.
So the county will get the Title III money and they can go ahead and use their process to allocate that, right?
Yes.
And you're saying that that process potentially would start this summer?
So they'll be able to get they'll have their full allocations, like for fiscal year 24, they can use that now. Fiscal year 25, we're waiting on a release date, but it should be coming soon. And then for fiscal year 26, that's when the county can elect, I think right now the county elects 7% of title fund. Yeah.
5%.
5%? Okay.
Yeah, I think the law caps the counties at 5% for Title III. It used to be that the county took 3% for Title III. And then the last round, remember, Jill, you and I kind of organized, and the RAC recommended to the Board of Supervisors to up the county's Title III portion to the maximum of 5%. And that's how it's been the last round.
I do recall that process. I just remember thinking it was at 7, but I easily be wrong.
Same.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Do you have any idea roughly how much that would be?
Yeah, those should be on our webpage right now. I think I can look that up right now.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's on the Secure Rural Schools Forest Service webpage. And then maybe we can do a go back and I can let us know the county allocations. The only thing that I'm hesitant about is that sometimes we get these allocations and then there's some differentiation of how it gets actually released through, at least that's how it goes for our Title II funds. Like whatever is released on the webpage, sometimes what we actually receive is like adjusted by 10%. I don't know.
An admin fee they take out, or?
Yeah, I think so. We did a whole white paper on it for Supervisor Rachel a couple years ago. There's a couple of things that affect the allocations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that affects it is that sometimes from the previous years, there's money that's left over that didn't get spent that's still available and gets added to the new money.
For Title II.
Yeah, for Title II.
Yeah. So it should be on the secure.
Yeah, we can pop it up. I was trying, but
I can look it up on my end
I
too.
oh, yeah.
Did that answer all the questions there?
Yeah,
Any other questions on RAP? The status, funding, anything else? Not seeing anything, Monique.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, up next we have the OHB survey. Clay, I think you're gonna
Don't just pull it.
bring us up to speed on that.
Yeah, I didn't get an opportunity to do a full statistical analysis of the survey after it ended on February 14th, and the lowest in August, so statistical analysis is out of my picture for hot second. But the preliminary stuff we got over.
You're saying physically, you're not in that thing.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's good. That's okay.
All right.
So you'll haven't seen me around. So, what was it?
Sorry to interrupt. I didn't know you were talking.
Oh no, it's sir.
Figurative, we're very good.
Sorry. Over 90 participants in the survey. A good, I would say, 2/3 of them were from Trinity County. The preliminary is that people are generally supportive of an OHB area, especially in the Spaghetti Bowl. I think it's a lot of it was either that people acknowledge that's been used as an OHB area for a long time, even though it isn't legally allowed, and other people acknowledge that there needs to be a place for people to do their recreation activities. Even the more negative responses towards OHV, still a lot of them had a little caveat, like if they were able to reduce the impacts, if they were able to reduce noise, if it kept people from illegally riding elsewhere, then they would be supportive. So I think that that is a good kind of jumping off point for if we get this OHB grant from the state, which we were able to finish and apply for with a preliminary application. And I'm looking forward to doing more public outreach. I really hope we get that, because I think it's a good opportunity to let people do the hobby they enjoy, and also kind of have an opportunity to, manage that area optimally. So
Where is the spaghetti bowl?
right up Weaver Bali, kind of to the left, leading towards McKenzie Gulch. If you ever seen that place, that's all you can see it from a satellite view, actually, all cut up by little crisscross spaghetti of user trails and whatnot. So
Was this a countywide survey? I mean, what did it encompass? And then folks could reference specific areas of interest.
the survey was specifically about people's OHB interests, and then about the spaghetti bowl, because it was part of the Leafville Community Forest. Sort of our deliverables was to come up with a plan specifically for that area, and or start that process. And so the first part was just what kind of OHB use people are interested in, just to kind of get a gauge of whose needs we're trying to meet. Dirt bikes are most popular. Pretty cool. I like it. So, and then the second part was more focused in on the spaghetti. So
The reason I'm asking is because, there's another bowl up on Trinity Lake on the Forest Service, and so that's where all the OHV use is up there. So who knew there was another bowl? Okay, bowls are popular.
Yeah, this was a Clay asked me about this also. This is something that the RCD, the Watershed Center, and the county worked on almost 10 years ago. I think it was, can't remember the group. Roger Yeagle pushed really hard for it, and so we did 2 years worth of two different efforts of planning. Leslie Hubbard and Tom Evans spent a bunch of time inventorying a bunch of these areas, like the Spaghetti Bowl, like the ballpark in Trinity Center. Those were two of the main areas that kept coming up. So I know there are some documents if anybody wants to go back and look at those. There's some documents kind of recommending these areas as good spots. There's more than that too. But anyway, that's partly how, Clay decided to focus on this area. And there's a lot of reasons why this thing makes sense. So it's really cool that they're getting some input from the community on this.
Yeah, and I would just, bring to attention with this kind of public outreach effort, to not lose sight of areas where we do not encourage OHV use. We did a fairly substantial campaign for Grass Valley Creek many, many years ago, because that was a popular OHV area for a lot of Reading, clubs. And clearly had a very detrimental environmental impact, and a lot of effort went into that educationally to try to help folks understand the impacts they were having. So again, as we encourage OHV, we don't want to lose sight. There are some areas where we don't want that activity occurring.
But I hope with this, so this OHV grant that we applied for is just a planning grant. And my hope is that this would be kind of a jumping off point for a variety of different grants through the state OHV commission. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Including education and restoration, where we can say, hey, look, we have an OHV community that we can reach out to. We can do education initiatives to like the tread lightly stuff and stuff like that, and do restoration efforts through places that we don't want people to continue riding, stuff like that. So it's going to be, my hope is it's a branching path where we get to build stuff, we get restore stuff, we get educate.
Right. And a part of that grant too is not only looking at potential for where people could be able to recreate OHV in that Spaghetti Bowl area, but also expand the project area to initiate the planning efforts for completing some restoration where a heavier restoration need exists, because there are definitely OHVers that are going into the system. They're cutting into areas where they shouldn't be, that may be hydrologically connected to anadromous fish streams or contribution streams, but that's another big thing of the planning grant.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on OHV survey?
Just thank you, Josh and Wendy, for helping fill in some of the gaps. Anything I missed. So speech. So thanks.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for initiating the conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for working on it.
What was that?
I just said, yeah, thank you for taking those steps. This is I think a really good thing to move forward with. And hopefully our SNC proposal will allow us to do more kind of research into this in the Upper Trinity area too.
Okay, moving on. 2025 recreation stats for the wilderness area. I think we've discussed this. Monique, is that data available or?
No, we do not have it yet, because her name's Lillian. She's our bearer of the stats, who is currently still counting all of the permits from last year. I do check in with her occasionally on it and have before this meeting, but they're not ready yet. She's still counting them.
Maybe next.
Yeah, let's continue to put it on the agenda. Thank you.
Okay. And then I think it was Tara actually that brought up this next agenda item, the 26 campground openings schedule, and since she's not here, it's
Well, yeah.
Cliff have something to share on that?
Yeah, I can dabble in that.
Awesome. All
So,
right, Cliff.
okay, our cabins over in Hayfork area, they open up, I'm looking at my notes, around the 1st of April. The lake campgrounds will open up the week before Memorial Day.
But
And the
which
rest
day?
of the, I'm
what-
sorry?
What is, so the,
It's usually the Friday or Saturday before Memorial Day.
okay, I actually brought this up because the recreation opportunities guide, the ROG, that's what it says is, the week before Memorial Day, and it would help to have a specific day,
Okay.
you know, so that we can advertise it like on our website and all that kind of stuff, trying to get campers to come to the North Lake. I mean, it's nice to say they're opening this day, make your reservations, come.
They have to do this on, or some of them are online, correct?
Yeah, well, that if I can intervene a little bit more, I have some campground usage for walk-ins and for rec.gov.
Okay,
So for quarter 1, the walk-in was, because it's quarter 1, was only 159 people. There was none for the rec.gov. Quarter 2, there was 2,726 campers walked in, and 2,548 were reserved through rec.gov. Quarter 3 walk-ins were 4,229 campers. And quarter 3 for rec.gov was 3,787.
Wow.
Walk-in on quarter 4 was 586. And quarter 4 for rec.gov was a whole whopping 1.
so normally, like Monique has like the spreadsheet, so we can look at which campgrounds get the use. Is there a way?
I have that. I can forward that to Monique and she can give it to you guys, or I can send it to whoever you need. Because I got a printout from SRC, our concessionaire.
That would
They
be
send that
awesome.
to me.
Okay. How do you want to send it out?
Well, maybe Monique could get it,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
then,
I'll forward it to Monique here in a minute.
Thank
Right.
you.
and then maybe, Clay would probably have more access to the mailing list for the collaborative than I would. So.
Yeah, send me, I'll mail it out.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool.
Thank
Well, I guess my point though, Carol, on the online is, it would seem like a date would be important, right? If they're gonna go online to make a reservation, they need to know kind of what official day, is
Well, and it's
on the
more-
records as far as, signing up, right?
This is important for the walk-ins who,
Mhm.
they don't know if they're
Yeah.
showing up if the campground is open tonight or tomorrow night or Saturday night, or it's just, I just trying to make it easier for people to come up here and camp.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So one of the issues is it's the ROGs are the recreation outfitter guides, but you're talking about like the physical handout ROGs that don't have the specified date, and that one's the issue. Okay.
Yeah, I've handed Tara copies of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we
Yeah,
fix this?
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, because okay. Thank you. That's helpful.
Okay, anything else on the campground schedule for 26?
Speaking of mailing things out, I just had to spell it. It's a little related earlier, but Josh, would you like me to send out the report from 2019 that y'all made up on the OHV, just to give everyone some reference to what's been ID'd and
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, if anybody's interested, I think it's a great thing to look at. That's the summary one that has all the county, the RCD, and the watershed centers stuff. I think. Yes, if anybody else there is interested in it, I'd be happy, or it'd be great if you could send it out as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'll put that on my list of things to mail out. Got a good one today.
I apologize. What's this?
Thanks.
It's the thing that Josh was talking about earlier when the watershed center ID'd like opportunities for OHV use throughout the County. Is that a good summary of that, Josh? Oh, I think you're muted.
I think you're muted, Josh.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah, it was not just the watershed center. It was the watershed center was a part of it. The RCD, Tracy McFadden was involved, and then when she was at the RCD, and Leslie Hubbard when she was with the county, they were all involved. So those were the people that. So it's not just the watershed center.
Oh, my apologies.
No, it's good. Thanks.
Okay. Moving on here, I do not see Anissa for our golden mussel mitigation update. Does anybody else have any news for us on that front? Not seeing any.
I know I can't speak on this very well, Cliff. I don't know if you have any more information, but I think we're looking at grant opportunities for funding mitigation programs, but I think I have to check in with Amelia again on this, but last I talked to her maybe a couple weeks ago, she just got back from leave, so that's why it was a couple weeks ago. We discussed the potential of her applying to a Department of Fish and Wildlife grant opportunity that we would be eligible for. And I don't know what that would all entail, but we have to have another discussion on it. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on golden mussel? All right. I do not see any BLM representation today.
I think Laura sent out an email.
Yeah, it's a decision notice.
So yeah.
Yeah, she did send out, and I think Kelly did get that out to everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Jennings Ridge?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't believe she just sent out kind of a general report that.
I didn't see anything else. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Forest Service line officer reports. Monique, do you have anything for us, or Cliff?
I think Cliff
Okay, Cliff?
should start there.
Excuse me, I'm new at this.
Sure.
Oh, hang on, I got a call. I'll get.
Maybe Josh can go before since he has to leave early.
Yeah. Josh, you want to give your watershed report?
Biggest thing that's changed lately is we are hiring a new recreation division manager. So Jack Leinhard left not quite a year ago, but close, getting on. And so we've been looking for somebody since then. We finally have somebody who's a long-term Forest Service employee who was kind of his whole program was cut recently. And so he left and was looking for other work. He's got probably 10 years of experience with the Forest Service in Colorado and Minnesota and the Appalachian area. And then he's also been in private sector kind of tourism type of stuff in a Colorado and Minnesota as well. So we're really excited. Got a ton of experience and should be really valuable and helpful for the county and for recreation programs here. I think that's the main update I have right now. Other than that, we're kind of just doing our standard Forest Service support. We have a South Fork Trinity River Trails project, a Hayfork Ruth Trails project, Sisson Callahan, and East Weaver Lakes are the kind of the primary grants that we have right now, projects to support the Forest Service and doing trail work.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Nick?
Josh.
Josh. You kind of look like Nick, maybe. I don't.
You got the right department.
Yeah. All right.
So can I have a quick go back? I got some information I just got to throw with SRC.
Very good. You bet. Huh? Yeah.
So on RecGov, and they post it for walk-ins, that the campgrounds around the lake will be open up May 15th.
May 15th.
May 15th. All right.
So so you go into RecGov, it won't let you reserve anything before that timeline.
Okay.
And that's the same day they would be open for walk-ins then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just circling back to Forest Service updates. Monique, anything else for us or?
I know that we have a lot of recreation updates because we're doing recreation seasonal hiring, but my updates, I do have one for Bowerman and then, and for Minersville, but that's later on the schedule.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
Cliff, could you provide
Yeah.
and tell them?
Yeah, I can do a couple. So we're gonna start clean. I'm getting my excavator back soon. We're gonna start hauling logs out of Hayward and putting the tables and everything back in and replacing, rebuilding. As soon as within hopefully a week or two. So, and on trails, we have a group called the Mobilized Green Wilderness Trail Interns, and they're working up New River right now, doing deferred maintenance. Eric Flights is teaching mini crews and partners, maintenance and sharpening of crosscut saws. And on that, we have the first week of May, we have a Wilderness Ranger Academy at Tannery Gulch Campground for the whole Region 5. And I mean, I think it's even more than Region 5 and partners. So they can learn how to crosscut, get certified, and, A through C fallers and buckers. And our packers are out at Bowerman, not right now because they're off on Fridays, but improving and maintaining the yard, the grass, and upgrading fencing for livestock. Recreation will be getting a possible 1039 seasonals. Another little projects. I think Mike hit this last meeting. We're doing a fence out at the cemetery out at Harrison Gulch. I'm taking lead on that. And then I was just out at Alpine, and our concessionaire had a bunch of snags fell, so we're gonna have a bunch of cleanup out there of the logs. They took care of all the debris, limbs and such, but we got the logs left. Getting them safe. And then we'll just here with what's this is middle of March. So here within 2 weeks to 3 weeks, we'll be getting all our water systems up and running around the lake and tested.
So I know there's a lot of firewood available in the North Lake right now.
Well, my plan with that is the pine. I don't know what I'm going to do with because nobody really wants ponderosa pine for firewood.
Right.
I think we'll just deck it somewhere. Out of the way. But the Doug fir, I was either going to put it. I was going to ask the county if I could put it by the bridge on that road.
On Guy. Yeah, that's what I was wondering is if.
And I'll stage it there for the public to come cut, or right outside our gate in the big wide spot.
Okay, just
And we'll tell Lillian at our front office, so if people come in to want cut wood out there from Trinity Center or wherever, Coffee Creek, well, they'll know you got some right in your backyard.
Okay, I'll tell them. Yeah, I'll let the Guy Covington folks know, because that'll be really handy by, and just tell them they need to come and get their permits from Lillian.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna jam up their burn pile area there. It's just I'm just gonna put a better firewood there for them.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Cliff? Monique?
Not
In the report for me.
Okay. And I don't see Six Rivers represented here, so we'll pass on Six Rivers. Okay, NRA project. So Minersville.
Yeah,
Monique, you got something for us?
have.
All right.
So I got this from Marcus. He sent me a little debrief on all the Minersville updates, and a lot of progress has been made, so that's pretty good. He's unfortunately out today due to existing family commitments, but if anyone has any questions, he said I can text him, but I'll try not to. Hopefully these will answer everything. So a NEPA team has been assembled and is now working through the environmental compliance. A CE is on track for completion by late May / early June. So a small team is working on permits, and this includes gathering necessary information to apply for Army Corps and Water Board permits. That's 404 and 401 permits. It's unclear at this time, but CEQA compliance may be required for the 401 permit. CEQA must be completed by another agency or nonprofit entity. This may be something that we may look into tapping the Watershed Center or the RCD on. Some more details are to come as we learn more from the Water Board. And Steve Bachman, our forest hydrologist, is the point of contact for this. Our contract engineers, TEPA, should have the 90% plans completed by next week. DBOW will then review those plans and return it within 30 days, hopefully. TEPA is set to have final designs completed by the end of May. The next steps after NEPA is we will need to submit this project to contracting for construction bids. If the stars align, we should have a contract obligated by the end of the year. This will depend on several factors, including if our contracting group can get this out for solicitation and if all our permits are ready.
But the last meeting, I was just kind of actually going through the notes. There was some promise / expectation that we would actually see the most recent updated 60% design at this meeting.
Yeah, you guys.
Where it was actually promised in the notes that it would get sent out in advance of this meeting so people could actually look at it and maybe comment today, but apparently that's not available, right?
No, it sounds like they're moving on to the 90% design. I can reach out to Marcus about that, but if I also recall from the last meeting correctly, I think there were some issues with the designs potentially not being able to meet all of the desired outcomes from the original conversation that we had because of the expenses, and it's really important that we keep this project within budget. And some of the additional costs can be covered, I think if I'm recalling correctly, can be covered, but there is a strict budget that we're working with, but that doesn't make any, I guess.
Well, Tara reported at the last meeting that yes, there was a gap.
Yeah.
But that gap had been filled by.
I see.
Yeah, and
they went around with the hat and got donations from other forests, I guess.
They were hoping to for like kind of pending.
Yeah.
Part of the recreation, so the recreation committee is part of the collaborative, and part of the collaborative's purpose is to collaborate, not just have you guys say, okay, here's the plan. It's like the idea is we get to provide some input before there's a final document. And so we've been asking for a long time for, okay, where are you at with the 60% plan? What does it look like? And then to have like a fait accompli, here's the 90% plan and the permits. It's a little counter to what we've been trying to do.
Okay, that is completely understandable. What I can do is I can text Marcus. I don't think that he'd be able to get me anything today. So I don't think he'll be around his computer today, but maybe what we can do is we can put this on the full collaborative meeting agenda, and the 60% designs should exist somewhere. I think we should maybe send those out before the Trinity Collaborative full meeting. I just don't know how much input would be able to impact. This is where the maybes are coming from, but I don't know how much the collaborative will be able to impact the design plans if they're almost 90% complete. The other thing is that I wouldn't want this to be delayed just in case, because there are a lot of contingencies that would make this project go a lot quicker into contracting. And one of those being the design plans, and then the NEPA, and then also the permitting. So all of those have to be done by May, June, in order for this to go into contracting soon enough for it to be completed and hopefully ready for implementation as soon as possible.
Sure. assume you could just get it out and just say, hey, limited
Yeah.
opportunity to really adjust this, but
Right.
FYI, here it is, right?
Well, and if you could kind of give us an idea of maybe what did get left out in order to meet
Okay.
the cost constraints. I mean, because last time Tara was talking about like the V grooving, like, okay, we couldn't do the V grooving in the concrete. Well, okay, that's, I get that. But if it's like, oh, now we're gonna be 1 lane versus 2 lanes, there's
Right.
some things that are bigger, but the people would be more concerned about than other things. So
That
if
totally
you-
makes sense.
So if you can just let us know what anticipated major changes got made between the 60% and the 90%, that would be really helpful.
Okay, yeah. I will, oh, anything else?
Well, I think from my end, I think one of the bigger issues was whether or not they were able to include some lower water parking.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing that the collaborative has been, and the community from the community meeting was pushing for. So it'd be good to know whether they're able to do that or not.
Okay. So just to make sure I've summarized this correctly, one, just knowing if anything is flexible still, but more so knowing what the major changes were between the 60% and what the anticipated 90% plans would be. One of the key things being the double lane. And then the other thing being if there is parking ability at the lower end of the ramp.
And that needs to be dispersed, Pat. I think clarified dispersed parking. That's not going to be an established parking area. We've been around this issue for a long time and finally got the water quality folks, I think, to agree based on what the Forest Service recommendations and regulations are out there for camping, campfires below the high water mark.
Okay, let me make sure that I am understanding that completely, but dispersed parking below the high
water mark. Once the lake starts to drop, there wouldn't be any impediments to getting off of the ramp like at Clark Springs. All the riprap that's been put on both aprons of the ramp, allowing the public to get off on that and below the high water mark out there for other activities, not necessarily for boat parking, but a lot of people like to get their vehicle a little closer to the water, that kind of stuff. So
okay,
it's dispersed. It wouldn't be a quote designated parking. And we got to be really careful with that issue.
okay. Okay. I haven't seen Minersville in a while. I'm curious because I know the ramp itself is very steep, but you're talking about above the ramp into the other areas?
No.
Okay.
So here's what happens. So you got this big long ramp. Let's just say it's a really low water year. Do you care if I jump in?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Low water year. And you have got to drive forever to drop your boat in. Okay, so the problem becomes you have tons of people, all the things, older folks, whatever, and you have to take, some people have to stay with your boat while you go all the way to the top to the designated parking spot.
Okay. Yes.
And come all the way back down to the bottom. And it's hot.
Yeah.
And it's just not reasonable to do that. So the way it is right now, you drop your boat on the water, you come over and you just kind of V park your way up.
Gotcha.
Both sides, right?
Yeah.
But with this new proposal, suddenly there was going to be this beautiful ramp, and then there were going to be like boulder-ish things that you couldn't stop there if you wanted to.
Okay.
It will force you to go all the way to the top, kind of a thing. And so really what's being asked, it wasn't so much about it was going to be an increased cost. It was going to be sort of, don't block us from doing that because you are worried that somebody is going to leak fuel and oil out of their parked vehicle while we are in our boats putting fuel and oil right into the lake.
And it's perfectly legal to drive a vehicle on the lake bottom according to the transportation management plan.
Okay, this makes, thank you for the elaboration. I wanted to make sure I understood that correctly. Yes,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Mhm.
I get it.
I'll take you water skiing with me in the summer and then I'll show you what.
No, I can only imagine, yeah.
It's nice those, at least if they would at least harden that surface though, because it can get to be a clayey mess.
Yeah.
Depending on how fast the lake is receding.
Because you have to park where it's dried out, yeah.
Thank
Get
you.
that. And there's people that make money hauling people out of the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. The
We don't
bigger.
want riprap, but maybe some gravel or, you know,
There's
something.
that one area where there's a hole in the ramp itself. The parking isn't as bad, but
And, you know, the same issue is at Trinity Center ramp. It's nothing new. I mean, people, there's a cutout in the Trinity Center ramp where people can pull off the side of the ramp and drive around the lake bottom.
To actually do a undeveloped low water.
Yeah,
ramp.
that was put in on purpose.
Yeah.
And Clay, here's my my pet peeve. Transportation management plan, you can drive any DMV registered, you know, like car, truck, whatever on the lake bottom, but you can't take an OHV.
I saw that it's a proposal change that was even in the document that the watershed and RCD and county wrote up in 2019. That's really,
Yeah.
it's in there.
Someday.
People have noticed constantly.
So Wendy, just to wrap this up, so I believe I'm hearing you say that you're going to at least inquire as to whether or not a 60% design can at least get shared with the collaborative or rec committee. And
Yeah,
then,
and then the major
and
changes.
then any changes, and then assuming that is doable, we'll modify that agenda for next Friday, because I don't believe we have any kind of minor fill currently on the agenda, so.
Okay.
If you let me know, then at least we can.
Yeah,
And-
I'll hear back from Marcus, I'm sure
Yep.
soon.
Yep.
Hopefully by the end of the meeting, but I'm texting him right now.
Okay.
so a question that I would have is if these timelines, let's just say they didn't work as hoped, what's the flexibility or the sort of drop dead date by which the money that Rachel has worked really hard to find and fill the gap with, when do we drop back to square one for, I know, I know. Gotta ask the question. I want to know what that is.
That's a good question. I thought that might have been brought up at the last meeting. Do we by chance? Okay.
No.
Because for some reason.
No timeline associated with it. It was just a promise that it would be done, right? That the gap would be
Okay, I
filled.
think there was a timeline associated with that funding. And I think that's why they're hurrying. But let me get that timeline too.
Because I feel like it is going to be a delicate dance between, oh no, you moved on to 90% without asking us, but get it done on time, right? Like,
I'm cool with 90% as long as the key things that the community asked for are in there. All the other stuff to me is minor.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two, I'd request that a copy get to the people on this committee. Because we've
Okay.
been really involved in that, and that goes to the collaborative from here.
Right.
So if we could get a copy of you, the 60 or the 90%, knowing that our input would be very limited. And that would be at least a courtesy copy.
We all want to see it get done.
Right.
And potentially, yeah, because this year the lake's gonna go down really fast. I mean, it's.
Right.
Too
Yeah,
much snow
dry.
melt in there.
you look at the graphs, it's like.
Yeah.
So there is a good opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Go further.
Window of opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, and I hope because the Department of Boating and Waterways has given us extension after extension after extension.
Yes.
And
The iron is hot, I think, right now. Yeah, we better.
It definitely, yeah, definitely is. Okay, thank you all.
All right, anything else on Minersville? Moving on, Trinity Camps, any update on that for us, Cliff or Monique? Oh, Josh has got okay, Josh.
He's just saying goodbye.
Oh, you're just saying goodbye. You don't have an update on camps for us. Okay.
I think Cliff already
All right.
gave one.
Yeah, all I got is that we're gonna be starting cleanup on Hayward. We're gonna have new people. We're gonna have some other groups in there helping us
Very
and
good, yeah.
getting the campground rebuilt.
Yep, thank you. Bowerman Barn, it sounds like we have an
Yeah.
update.
Before we get off of lake issue,
Yeah.
we have requested at the last meeting in Clark Springs, the Shafts Direct, get that ramp in the water and the gate open. And
Yeah.
the same thing at Bowerman. We, the public, pays for our annual pass, and we're already 30% into the new year. And that's very unfortunate for everybody that buys that pass and then can't use it when the lake levels are such that that ramp should be in.
I think that Cliff might.
I will take that one on. I'm sorry. I will definitely get to the bottom of that. I will get on the, sorry.
And I'm no friend of Shasta Rec. They have done, and I'll go on the record, extremely poor job of being the concessionaire out there. And this is a repetitive issue every year. And they know what that lake level is, and there's just no excuse.
Yeah, Cliff, I mean, I would agree. I've been seeing tons of boats lately. I know the fishermen, bass fishermen have started their tournaments. And so we need the gate open at Clark Springs and the courtesy docks in at Clark Springs and Bowerman, please.
I will work on that.
Thank
As soon as
you.
we're out of this meeting, I will get a hold of the concessionaire.
It would be greatly appreciated.
Cool, all right. Bowerman Barn.
Yeah, so Pete Schmay over on the Shasta Lake Ranger District is working on he has all the documents for the contract submission. He has the budget, so he's resubmitting it very soon. So he said that he has received an IAS number and has a COR nomination, which is the COR nomination is a contracting officer representative. So we have all of the parts and pieces, and then he said that he's hoping to submit it by the end of the month. We just have some new contracting processes, so I think that's why he may have been a little bit delayed on getting that submission in. But he's actively working on it.
So I'm curious where you are in the process. So is this to hire the engineer to do the foundation design?
This is to do the solicitation for the engineer contractor to do the design.
So you're still in the process of trying to pick the contractor, and then you have to actually sign the documents to hire the contractor, right?
What will happen is we put out this contracting request. It goes to our contracting office, and then a solicitation will go out for the contractors. And once we get bids for that contract, then we will pick a contractor from that.
Okay, that was supposed to be in October, so anyway, all right. I know Pete is super busy, but yeah, all right, got it.
Let me throw in there for you, Carol, that we also removed that sign that
I
was,
saw that. Thank
Okay.
you.
I finally got permission
Good
from
way
our
to
Archie.
go. Took it out with the chainsaw. Thank you.
No, we actually just pulled it right out.
Oh, yeah. So I have the replacement brochure holders ordered. You know, those plastic brochure holders, the lids keep breaking off and then they get wet. So I am currently building a kind of a structure to shelter them from the rain. And I will put that back in the same hole. I'm not digging a new hole. Put that back in the same hole where the current post is. Okay?
If you need a hand, let me know. I can send some people out to help
Okay,
dig,
and then,
move some dirt, rocks. We buried it with rocks.
yeah, so I know, that's why I'm going to the same hole, that way I don't have to deal with rocks. But, or archaeological things. But, so at the last meeting, just before we get into the real tourist season in May, the rattlesnake, sign that disappeared with the contractors, we asked if we could get that again. And then the scenic byway sign that the contractors stole, can we get that again? We talked about it last month, when, our last meeting, so I know it's not on your list, but it was on Mike's list. So, yeah, I don't want people get by rattlesnakes.
I'll ask Mike about that. I'll see
Okay.
him Tuesday.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else on Bowerman?
No.
Very good. Partner updates. So apologize. I know we decided to get rid of North Lake Trail Subcommittee, so that will be scratched from next agenda. I don't see anyone from Ascend here or Trinity Trail. We heard from Watershed Center. Thule, do you have something for us?
Just briefly, we are seeing the California Prop 4 monies start to move. That was the climate bond that was approved in November of 2024 by the voters. It's a $10 billion bond to address climate resilience. So a lot of the forest health dollars are coming through that. There's also a large pot of recreation dollars for a lot of deferred maintenance. So a lot of those dollars we're seeing go through California state parks. So keep an eye, basically what we did see the end of February was AB 107 was approved by the state legislature, which kind of removes some of the procedural requirements around rolling out those dollars. So we'll see those dollars kind of move out here in the new fiscal year and sooner. So that's
So
great.
That money for California State Parks for deferred maintenance, how do people go about soliciting for, like, the Jaws House is a state park that could really use some money?
Yes. Call the district manager out of Oroville and I can get you a contact.
That would be
So,
great. Thank you.
yes. And I'm not exactly really familiar with how they are rolling out those dollars, but it would be fantastic to know a little bit
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So let me
Okay.
get you a contact.
Cool.
Because that'd be great to put that on the radar if it's not already. So,
Great.
other things, we have some wildfire dollars rolling out through that climate bond that will be available hopefully after the 1st of July. And then we are not yet seeing rollout of like next year's appropriations of those dollars. Those dollars are still hung up in legislative procedure, basically a procedure where all the guidelines have to go through review by multiple committees and agencies and whatnot. And so it's just really slow. And so we're hoping to see there is legislation that is rolling through the state assembly and senate currently. So we're tracking that and hope to know more here in the next month. So May 1st, there's kind of the revision of the state budget. The governor puts his budget out January 10th of kind of what he expects to see for the next fiscal year. So starting July 1st, we typically see a little bit of adjustment between the January proposal and the May proposal. And then the May proposal is usually a lot closer to what we wind up seeing approved by the end of June for next fiscal year. So keep an eye on that. We'll know more shortly, but excited to see some of those Prop 4 dollars start to move out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah, and we'll keep everybody posted. If you don't already see it, we have a monthly funding opportunity newsletter that
I
just kind of
love that.
summarizes funding opportunities that we know of that come across our desk that are like of interest to all partners and whatnot. So great place to kind of look at those opportunities that are coming up. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much.
One other topic, the North State Single Track Summit will be held in Reading at the end of March. I believe it's March 27th through 29th. I know it's been held here in Weaverville in the past. It's kind of a collection of North State Trail advocates, land managers, entities, and whatnot. And so it's a fantastic opportunity for everybody to collaborate. Yeah, chat about challenges, opportunities, and whatnot. So Reading Trail Alliance is going to be hosting that this year. And then some exciting news is that the California Mountain Bike Association is actually taking that summit statewide. They've kind of really appreciated that format and kind of that annual opportunity to gather all the trail advocates. And so they're going to be hosting similar summits in, I think, Quincy in Southern California on the like Central Coast. So yeah, I can send more out about that. I know Josh and the Watershed Center are really collaborating closely with the Reading Trail Alliance to help host that. So
You
really
said that's on the
excited.
29th of March?
It's the 27th through 29th,
Okay.
and their meeting is the 28th.
Okay.
But then they do like usually like a trail work day the day before, kind of like a learning opportunity for like trail design, and then yeah, a little bit
Got
more on
it.
the 29th day after. So yeah, it's kind of just a 3-day opportunity for everybody to gather and
It's cool.
yeah, get excited about
Mhm.
more opportunities and share info and knowledge. Yeah.
Might have more info on that. Do you want me to send it to your
Yeah.
email? Okay, it's on my personal phone.
Okay, cool.
Is that it, Julie?
That's it. Yeah.
Very good. Any questions?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
RCD, Clay, anything from Kelly or?
Nothing specifically from Kelly besides he apologizes for not being able to make these meetings. We do have a new manager at Forest Health, our project manager, and he is interested in recreation, so he will be joining us next time. But today he is at training.
What's
So,
the name?
Evan Garrett.
Evan Gary.
Yeah. Or perhaps Jerry, but I think Gary is Gery.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So,
Looks like a Jerry to me.
G can't say J, followed by ERY, so. Yeah.
Okay.
but yes, he wants to join us
I
in the
don't
future.
think
He
so.
just today, so just welcome.
Bless you.
And yeah, we're gonna just
Yeah,
really
both
do
you.
stuff to help out. So
Okay. All right, agenda building for next meeting. Anything I
Can I
don't know.
toss something in the mix before you move on?
Sure.
I am coordinating a 2-day visit for Senator Schiff's field rep, Wesley Fink. He'll be here on April 13th and 14th. And so one idea that I have is Paul wants to take him out and show him one of the right-of-way expansion projects. The last time we did this with Congressman Rogers' assistant, he chose an area that was up Highway 3. So my thought was, if I add the right person to the group, maybe we could take a little look at the lake, and one of the recreation opportunities would be the limited number of houseboat permits that we currently have. Just want to show him, limitations and opportunities, and all the things that we're working at. These are things we hope he takes back to the hive, right, and advocates for on our behalf. So I'm kind of looking for like who would be the right person to sort of add to the carpool in the conversation that day.
Paul Hausner. Paul,
So Paul could do both. Okay, that's a good idea.
we chased that rabbit for quite a while on this
Yeah.
committee, and
Yeah,
Paul was kind of the lead.
yeah, okay,
Pat would be available too. I think he had that on his schedule.
okay, cool. Thanks. That's it. That's what I need to ask.
Okay, thank you.
What days for those? Was that again?
April 13th and 14th, if I have that right, it's a Monday, Tuesday. Correct.
Okay, any agenda items for next meeting that we want to make sure we get on there?
Well,
Other than the
usual suspect.
the usual suspect, yeah. I didn't pick up anything as we went through the meeting today, so we will,
With versus stuff. Are you there?
very good. Well, is there anything else? We are well ahead of schedule, unusual. But it is Friday, so I'm sure we're not going to complain about a shorter meeting. But any final thoughts, comments, questions? Not seeing any, we will officially adjourn. Thank you all for attending and participating today.
Thank
For
you.
hosting.
Do you have other stuff that you're doing?
Thank you,
here,
Clay,
too?
for filling in.
Of course.
As opposed to-
Yeah,